Welcome to our massive open online course about purchasing and supply management fundamentals. Today I'm happy to talk about procurement technology and digitalization. The learning goals of this sequence are as follows. You should understand aspects of digital transformation in the context of purchasing. You should know concepts, methods and technologies for PSM processes. Evaluate future trends and IT innovations that impact PSM and interpret their consequences. In addition, you should be able to implement data analytics to design an effective purchasing and supply management. Last but not least, you should be able to show how digitalization can provide an organization a competitive advantage. I would like to give you at the beginning an introduction by a couple of definitions. Digitalization is a combination of new technologies and can be also seen as a connection of processes and products as well as of the physical and virtual world. Digitalization at the same time is a very important element of Industry 4.0, the Internet of Things and Services, or something that we call nowadays the fourth industrial revolution. Digitalization can be seen as one of the irreversible principles of these developments. Besides digitalization, it's very important to understand that also autonomization and individualization play a very important role for the fourth industrial revolution, where a number of companies has to face the challenges of the digital transformation. Digital transformation stands for new developments in the use of digital artifacts, systems and symbols within and around organization. Digital transformation also stands for the continuously executed technical and internet-based disruptive transformation process, and at the same time the competitive position of a company is sustained or extended by the use of modern technology. The digital transformation affects all areas of a company: strategy, business models, processes, structures, culture, and in the broadest sense affects also all kinds of companies of every size you can think of, small and medium-sized companies as well as big companies. The digital transformation can be described by different technologies that play an important role for the whole transformation process. And amongst others, you can try to cluster the different technologies along four categories. One is the digital data, another one is the automation, a third one is the connectedness, and the fourth one is the digital customer access. Let me briefly talk about digital data, or as we nowadays usually say, big data. Big data, the value of big data comes from the sharing of data. Data itself has no value, or not really a high value, but the sharing of data creates the value. And the more data we share, the more we can talk about big data. I talked before about autonomization as one of the key irreversible principles of Industry 4.0, or the Internet of Things and Services. And now I mentioned automation. What's the difference? Automation is one of the outcomes of the third industrial revolution. The autonomization means that things can really autonomously communicate and interact with each other. But nevertheless, it's important to deal with automation also in this era, because not many companies are really automated far enough. So we need at the same time a further development of automation to be able to realize the idea of the autonomization that came along with the discussion around Industry 4.0. The main concepts and methods for the digitalization of purchasing and supply management are based in the area of e-procurement. E-procurement is a term that has been used way before the start of the discussion around the fourth industrial revolution. E-procurement is the use of the internet or a company's intranet to procure goods and services used in the conduct of business. Nevertheless, e-procurement is one concrete, already existing example for the technologies in the Internet of Things and Services. In addition to existing e-procurement solutions, we can see in the last weeks and months that more and more Bots and robots are also used in the area of purchasing and supply management. Operative procurement processes can be completely digitalized, even to the extent that they are becoming autonomous. We know already examples from the corporate world where bots are taking over the negotiation processes in total. Once this happens, strategic procurement is only able to manage and monitor these processes. At the same time, the impact of strategic purchasing and supply management is increasing. To give some more evidence to these statements, we refer here to a study that has been conducted amongst 480 CPOs in 36 countries. And they expect that a bunch of new modern approaches and developments will enter the PSM area pretty soon in the next 2 years. Analytics will play the most important role according to the participants of the survey, but also cloud computing or robotics process automation will catch up pretty soon. In the future, procurement departments need to be able to react in real time and provide meaningful information by the use of modern approaches and developments. In order to do so, they need to digitalize their processes to the furthest possible extent so that they can focus on core processes. In addition, it's not only the digitalization of the procurement processes, it's also the digitalization of the procurement portfolio. So the PSM function has to be responsible and has to be able to really identify also the latest digital developments on the supplier market. For example, procurement or purchasing supply management has to give access to 3D printer providers for their companies. Supply chain analytics will be developed way further in the next years to come. Nowadays, we are able to conduct descriptive analytics and answer questions like what happened, why did it happen. In the near future, we will be able by predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics to answer questions like what will happen and how can we optimize it. An example from a current research project at the Fraunhofer IML is dealing with smart containers. Smart containers that are not only able to route themselves along the material flow, but that are in addition also able to transfer financial information between themselves. The exchange of financial information enables them, at least in a laboratory setting, to negotiate with each other. So things in the Internet of Things start to negotiate with each other. So this is a very important step to really realize the vision of a complete autonomous supply chain and value creation process. Since a couple of months, we are able to integrate in these experiments around intelligent bins that are able to negotiate with each other also a huge hype topic that's called blockchain. The blockchain technology or the distributed ledger technology. On the base of this distributed ledger technology, master contracts can be executed automatically. A transaction can be initiated as soon as a specific previously defined event occurs. The benefits are manifold: autonomy, transparency, trust, backup, safety, speed, savings, accuracy. And again, by the help of a blockchain and with the application of smart contracts, we are able to really realize the vision of Industry 4.0 or the vision of the Internet of Things by the help of purchasing and supply management. So you can see here that the chance of purchasing and supply management to really become a driver of the whole digital transformation is huge. The purchasing and supply management people just have to take this chance and further develop themselves to the drivers of the whole transformation process. For this, they have to also create new skills that are one of the main aspects in our perfect project. At the end of this short sequence, I hope that you learned a couple of lessons. For example, you should know how technology and digitalization are transforming the procurement process. You should now know some IT tools and be able to reflect and critically analyze the impact of technological developments. You got an outlook on future challenges in the context of digitization in PSM and hopefully got an idea how interesting the whole topic is still in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.